It's time for Mac Geek Gab, and listener Fernando brings us our quick tip of the week with when using the Messages app on macOS, if you use the keyboard shortcut Command-E, you can quickly edit the last message you sent. Not sure if everyone already knew this, but I just learned this today and wanted to share with the group. More quick tips like this, plus your questions answered today on Mac Geek Gab 1131 for Monday, March 2nd, 2026.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to Mac Geek Gab, the show where we share quick tips like Fernando's and ones from you. We share cool stuff found from you and from us. We share your questions. We try to provide answers, or at least head us down the troubleshooting path together. We organize it, easy for me to say, all into an agenda that allows each of us to learn at least 5 new things every single time we get together. Our sponsors for this episode are barebones.com with BBEdit, a text editor that I use for all kinds of different things, and gusto.com/MGG, where you can get 3 months of free when you run your first payroll over there. So we will talk more about both of those in a little bit. For now, here on National Banana Cream Pie Day in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And here in South Dakota, I'm Christensen. Pilot Pete here.
Pilot Pete.
Yeah,
there you go.
There you go. And coming up on Pi Day soon.
We are coming up on Pi Day soon.
2 days after this show releases, right?
No.
12
days. Yeah, 12. Yeah, I'm almost always in Austin, Texas for Pi Day, and that will be true this year if plans stick. So, yep. It is March, though. It's a new month. Our giveaway here. MacGeekGab.com/giveaway, and you can enter to win a copy of SoundSource from Rogue Amoeba.
Ooh.
It's one of my favorite apps.
Yeah.
I like it. I've been doing a cool thing with SoundSource. Here's a bonus little quick tip. Wait to win your copy. Of course, they're giving away 3 copies, so you go to MacGeekGab.com/giveaway. But I noticed that, I have nice speakers on my computer in the office so that I can listen to music and enjoy music and all that stuff. But that means that they have a decent low-end response. And there are some people on Zoom calls that use microphones in such a way that most of their sound lives way down here instead of being like up here. And especially when I'm on a call with people that have different kinds of microphones, it's like some people rumble my speakers and some people not. And so I use SoundSource, and one of the things you can do with it is apply effects on a per app basis. And so I put an EQ with a high pass filter on Zoom, and everybody sounds great now. A high pass filter, all that does is it rolls off the low end. It lets the high frequencies pass through. That's the high pass filter. So let's roll off the low end on Zoom, and everybody sounds great. So anyway, that's my bonus little quick tip.
I have a bonus tip for the opening tip.
Oh, love that.
While that was for messages, keyboard shortcut, I have, and I think this works in a few different of the messaging style apps, more on the corporate side. So this would be specifically, I use it most frequently in Slack. But in Slack, if you want to edit the last message you just sent, you can just make sure it's I think it has to be selected or it has to be the last message, and you just tap the up arrow on your keyboard, and it goes right into edit mode. So if you just sent it, I use it all the time because I'll send it and then see a typo, and it's like, God.
Yeah.
Quick tap, and then quick edit, enter, and you're back in business.
Back in business. Yeah, that's the, I don't know why Messages doesn't do that, but, it's Apple, so of course,
Yeah, I know it was Slack, and we were using some other tool before, and now I'm blanking on the name of it.
Yeah.
But Rocket Chat, something like that. I don't know.
No, I've used it in several. It's like part of my muscle memory now to just hit the up arrow when I want to edit things. And you're right, it works in Slack. Yeah.
I just let my ignorance shine through.
What's that?
Can't spell nothing.
Oh, well, there you go. Why would we need to spell anything? We have computers to do that for us.
Right.
Pete.
Well, the computers are the problem because a lot of times it's also something, technical term or a brand name or something that it auto-corrected and messed up.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So-
And that site's gone now, but if you want to, I think it's archived somewhere. It was damn you autocorrect.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
be prepared to wrap your ribs before you read any of those. You will break a rib.
Oh, boy.
There's another bonus quick tip on that opening quick tip that Ben shared in Discord, and he says that editing these messages in Messages, but also like Slack and others, it only works as long as the message is editable, and that depends on whatever timing is set by the platform. With iMessage, Ben says you can undo sending a message for 2 minutes or edit it for 15. So there you go.
They do get locked in at some point.
Yeah, which makes sense. Yeah.
Can someone see the pre-edit or not? I don't remember that.
In iMessage, it is marked as edited, and yes, I believe you can click on it and see
what the edit was.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
you can?
Yeah,
That I
let's
didn't know.
see.
I thought if they see it before you edit it, yes, because like it doesn't stop sending it.
Right.
Right. No, if I go into iMessage and edit with an edit.
Right. So.
Okay, now it says edited in iMessage. Oh, yeah, if you click it, you can see the history. If you click where it says edited in iMessage or tap, depending on which device you're on, you will see the edit history of
You can
that
see what it
message.
was. So be careful what you send, folks.
That's right.
With the
Yeah.
intent of editing it later.
Yeah. And good tips. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. It makes sense. Like, I know that, like, on Facebook, if you edit one of your posts or your comments, you can, they maintain the edit trail so that, people can see what it said. So, yeah.
Well, yeah. So, to heck with you, you jerky jerk. Edit it to I love you. And,
Yeah, that's right.
The original message can
It's
be.
all still there. Yeah.
Oh, that's scary. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Don't get caught.
Yeah. Bingo.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Should we move on to more quick tips?
Yeah, I got one from Ian here. He says, gents, recently you guys discussed using NFC tags. Another use that is handy is adding NFC tags or on tools or appliances that have then links back to a URL for the manual. This could be an online manual, something stored on a NAS or other cloud service. Similarly, this could be done with a QR code, though. At my work, we also have them near all the fire equipment, and the on-site fire department uses those to log various checks they need to do on a monthly and annual basis. I love this. I might do this definitely on my appliances.
Yeah.
I don't know about my tools. I mean, my current method is I have a single drawer in my house that has all manuals to all that. When I get a manual, I just throw it in the drawer. But then you have to dig through the drawer to find the right manual.
So the thing about linking to the manufacturer's website for the user manual is that by the time you need it, they will have taken it down.
Right.
This is like a corollary to Murphy's Law or an add-on here. So my advice, and Ian sort of references this, my advice is every time I get a new appliance, widget, whatever, I have a user's manual folder that lives on my Synology. The whole family has access to it, and I just dump everything in there, and then I don't think about it anymore. And I know that I have it, right? And so, but you could do a URL to the file there. Or if you're someone who puts your user manuals in notes, you can absolutely have a link to a note, right? And that way you scan it and boom, the note comes up, PDF user manual, you're good to go. So, yeah.
So
keep them for yourself.
So what's a user manual and why would anyone read one? Just
you wouldn't. You just you'd ask ChatGPT to give you an answer, but
that it likes.
That it likes. But it is like with everything AI, the more context, the better. If you have the user manual and you can paste that into the chat,
it can find your answer.
it can actually find your answer because you're giving it the specific contexts. So, yeah.
So just real quickly, like for little ones like my Keurig, when I need to do the descale every few months, I keep that in a PDF in Genius Scan on my phone. I just know where it is.
Yeah.
The other one you didn't mention is I would consider putting it on my NAS drive with a link to it.
Oh, no, that's
there.
exactly what I said.
Oh, did you? I missed that
yeah.
because I was thinking of a smart aleck question, like what's a manual and why would somebody read it?
Yeah, no. I like I said, I have
notes.
I had a folder that I have a folder on my NAS that the whole family has access to, and that's where all the user manuals go.
I'm back now, folks.
It happened. No, it like that kind of thing happens more than you might realize, where it's like, oh no, I'm in the middle of a conversation that's being recorded and broadcasted to tens of thousands of people, and I have no idea what was just said for the last 30 seconds.
Because I was typing something that
exactly.
Yeah. You can only multitask so much, and
no one. I have yet to meet a person who can successfully multitask. It doesn't exist.
Self-included, yeah. I mean, you can.
So self-included. Oh,
yes,
100%.
Yeah.
I'm at the
You
front
can
of that
switch
list.
back and forth pretty effectively, which I guess is technically multitasking. But
I call it spotlighting. It's like I can shine my spotlight here or there, but not in two places. Right. So, yeah.
Oh, we need a refraction.
But sometimes I do have a pretty good auditory memory.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I can replay the conversation back in my head. Like, wait, I heard words that were coming from Pete. What did they sound like? And I'll play them back real fast and be like, right, I think I know where you are. So that's the only, but that's still not multitasking. It's just cheating.
Bingo.
So one thing related to this repair stuff, I will throw a shout out for iFixIt.
Yes.
They now have guides and quote unquote manuals and things for lots of stuff driven by, the community. So you're not reliant on the manufacturer. Now they have, a limited set because it just depends on what people put together, but they'll put together repair guides, they'll put together parts lists, all kinds of things for different devices. They don't, they used to be focused on computers and stuff like that, but now it's pretty much everything. So home appliances or yard equipment or whatever, you can find repair guides and answer forums and all kinds of stuff over there.
And briefly, the best part of that is it's community editable. So if they say, hey, remove this screw, you can go in and say, well, it helps if you, lift up the tab first and then remove the screw.
Yeah.
Little tips like that get put in there by the community, and man, is it nice.
Huh.
I love it. So.
I didn't realize how exhaustive this had become. That's great. All right. Yeah. Well, links in the show notes. Yeah. Repair manuals for everything. Love that.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. Should we move on to Ben?
Ben.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ben. All right. I just got to find it. There's my notes. Ben writes in, I just did something time-saving and instantly realized it's a quick tip. Here's my scenario. In Apple Mail on a Mac, I have junk sorted by sender per Dave's recommendation, though that's irrelevant to the tip. When triaging my junk mail, I'm looking for legitimate messages to move back to the inbox. I have mail displayed in a normal layout with a preview pane, and I don't want junk mail to be selected and therefore load. Normally, I right-click each legit message, select and move to the inbox from the contextual menu. But here's the tip. Right-clicking a message is a satisfactory method to select it, yet without displaying its content. Thus, I can press the Move to Inbox keyboard shortcut, Shift-Command-J, to complete the same action, conserving cursor motion as I navigate the list of messages. The message disappears from the list, no message has been opened, and I can move on. And I want to add to that, I use Mac Mail Settings Privacy tab, Protect Mail Activity, so content doesn't load unless I specifically tell it to load. But the interesting thing about that is if I have PIA, Private Internet Access VPN, connected, it somehow knows and automatically loads without revealing my IP address back to the sender. How do it know? I don't know. It do know.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know how it would know. Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice because email previews for me if I have private internet access connected.
Yeah.
But I'm not showing Not shining my backside, as they say.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. We had a question that we were going to do later in the episode, but it makes perfect sense to do now. Ernesto had asked us each ask in general how we manage our spam. And while we're here, we should just answer that question.
I can read it. Sure.
We don't need to read
the whole question.
No.
Okay.
I think we just kind of like his question was essentially, how do you deal with spam? And here we are in it. Well, the way I do it, and I created a Keyboard Maestro macro years ago that matches essentially what Ben describes, but I do one extra thing, and that is I have the Keyboard Maestro macro mark the message as unread, and then move it if it's a good message. I have it mapped to Control F for false positive, and it moves it to my inbox so that it can be filtered. And I have another one.
But it marks it on red, moves it to the inbox.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah.
Okay. That way it's new to me, right? Because it I mean, in theory, I'm not in response mode. I'm in like filtration mode. Do I want this to go back to the inbox, and I'll deal with it later? Later might be 2 minutes from now, but still having it unread because it's new. And unread also, I think, makes it applicable to like my other filters and that sort of thing, right? So it comes in, it's new, and if I have a filter that would catch it and move it somewhere else or do something with it, then the unread thing kind of helps with that. How do you deal with spam, Adam?
A couple different ways. One, I mean, I only have it on my main MacCast account, but I for years used SaneBox.
Yep.
Which has kept me sane.
Same.
And that's a service that you sign up and you pay for, and you run your mail pre-runs through that basically, and it filters everything into different locations. Now that more of the apps are kind of doing this internally, including Apple's Mail app, I don't know. I still find it useful because it's got years of data about what's what, and then basically you can set up different kinds of rules and folders depending upon how you work. So, there's different filtering things that you can choose from. So like there's like Sane black hole, Sane, and it creates all these boxes, and then it'll pre-filter. So, my newsletters go into one thing, potential spam goes into another thing, and it's pretty smart about how it learns and stuff like that. So that has been a great tool for years, and has kept my inbox sane as it advertises it. I'm also now using just sort of Apple's pre-filtering that puts, I forget what they're called, right? But the latest version of Mail will divide if you allow it to your inbox into different categories.
Yes. Yep.
So it puts, kind of promotional stuff into one area. Again, I'm blanking on the specifics of what it's called, right? But I started using that, and that seems to be doing a pretty good job.
I have a question about that versus SaneBox, because I haven't used Apple's thing. I've been a SaneBox user since I feel like it was a cool stuff found that somebody sent in 100 years ago, and I immediately started using it and talking about it, and then it seemed like everybody was using it. But the one thing I really like about SaneBox versus when I tried Google's auto categorization is SaneBox learns my specifics immediately.
Right.
Like if I move a message from my inbox to my, let's say, Sane Later folder, right, which is where it sort of naturally puts receipts, or to my Sane News folder where it puts like newsletters, right, the next one that comes in that, is from that person or that subject or whatever those heuristics are, is immediately matched. Like I don't have to train it 4 times to convince it. It's a one thing. And the same in reverse. If it puts something in Sane Later or Sane News and I'm like, no, that one goes to the inbox, in the future, like immediately that training happens. Is Apple's trainable, or is it using like Apple's we know best heuristics that are sort of,
I feel like it's more the latter.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, okay. I think it's using Apple AI to kind of.
Yeah. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. The categories it has that I see are primary transactions, updates, promotions, and it looks like there's another one over there that I can't. Oh, and
Okay.
all mail.
And yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've turned it on my desktop. I just opened up desktop. I'm pretty sure I did it on my mobile device, so I gotta play around with the settings. I just started kind of using it. But the other thing that I most recently discovered when I was going through my mail is that, and I had already kind of started doing this with just the unsubscribe button. Like I started getting really diligent about the marketing emails and stuff that I use from companies that these are a lot of times companies that I said, okay, that's fine. I'll sign up for your mailing list. And I've now decided I don't want to be on their mailing list anymore.
Sure.
So I'm not talking about random spam ones because I'm always leery about those. But like it's, oh yeah, I signed up for, this app and now I'm getting all of their spam.
I bought something from LL Bean and now they want to email me every time they have a new promotion. Yeah.
So using the unsubscribe button, which usually then takes you to a website, and depending upon what mail platform they're using, you may have to do additional clicks or, and it's kind of annoying because sometimes they try to get you like, why are you leaving? Oh, if we sent you less mail, would you stay? And you have to do a whole interview thing.
Yeah.
Annoying, but I've been diligently doing that, which has really helped.
I bet. Yeah.
Cut down on the amount of junk mail I get. But then I noticed yesterday I was sitting down going through my Apple mail, and right at the top of one of these messages, it says, this mail is from a mailing list. And there's an unsubscribe button that you can do right. Now, it's not working for every one of these types of emails, but for a lot of them, and then you just hit unsubscribe, and then Apple's doing some magic behind the scene, I guess, to get you unsubscribed. So
I think there's a mail
nice.
header that like the sender can put in that says, here's the unsubscribe link or something. And I believe that's what Apple Mail is filtering for. But it may be doing more, smarter things than that. So, but yeah, I think that's
so I've been using that. So like, I'm
great.
A lot more manual, but I've been manually deciding to like manage my spam and try and do my part to tell people I don't want to hear from you anymore.
Yeah, I don't want this anymore. I actually I know my chatbot ate my inbox. But I've trained my chatbot. It's smarter now. Two things about that. Number one, for the spam conversation, I now have my chatbot going through when I tell it to and checking my spam and finding things in my spam. And I will tell you, I mean, I've watched alongside it because, maybe I learned my lesson. And it's amazing how accurate it is for me specifically because it knows what the rest of my mail looks like. It has a corpus of data that it can use, that it has trained itself on, that is mine specifically. And I feel like it's the first time in my life. Fastmail does some of this for sure. But what I like about having my chatbot do it is it's interactive. It says, okay, I looked through your spam folder. There were 150 things in there. Here's 4 that I think you might want to consider. Do you want any or all of these? And I can answer that question, and then boom, it deletes the rest. I know. But here's the thing though. Our spam filtering has been effectively using AI, machine learning, heuristics, whatever term du jour we're going to use. Like that's probably our oldest use of that machine learning pattern matching thing. And so I don't know, it's something we've been doing for a long time. We just didn't call it AI.
I know, but I'm still struggling with the trust of my silicon-based overlords.
Yes.
And I'm realizing at a certain point they're going to be done with my usefulness to them and then decide, all right, today's the day.
Today's the day. Oh, for sure. That's why we say please and thank you to our LLMs. And I know we're not in our
wasting tokens,
our AI, side quest section, but my family started doing this thing asking. The prompt was simple. It was like, take your main chatbot and ask it to draw a picture of how I treat you. Right. So how me, the human, treats the chatbot. And everybody in my family had these like chatbots that were like wrapped in like warm, snuggly clothes and had like stuffed animals and this very kind of welcoming environment at their desks and, dutifully doing the little things for them. And mine, man, it had like notes all over the place. It was clearly, hair on fire, going 100 miles an hour, like smoking cigarettes. It's just like,
you know what I would get if I asked it to do that? I'm sorry, Pete. I can't do that. That would be triggering.
So bringing us back to last week's conversation,
Yeah.
I did want to share, though, that I learned something because I misspoke. I said, when I lost my inbox, that our email providers aren't keeping backups for us. And I mean, it's a worthy conversation to have. And I'm glad we had it. And I'm glad I had the realization of it because our mail is less backed up than pretty much everything else that we put in the cloud. And that is true with some exceptions. It just so happens that the mail client, the mail server that I use, Fastmail, does back up my data. And it will restore permanently deleted messages or discarded drafts for up to the last 7 days. And they have settings. You can do just the last 10 minutes. So you're not getting everything back from the last 7 days, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 4 hours, et cetera, right? But up to 7 days. So Fastmail does happen to have this feature. I just randomly was on a call this week with the CTO of Fastmail and said, look, you're going to see the subject of the thing. It's not your fault. My chatbot was my fault. It just so happens it was on Fastmail. And he's like, oh, you can restore from Fastmail. I'm like, you guys got to talk about these features. They're like, or you need to talk about these features. So here I am. I talked about the feature. But anyway, yeah. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is awesome. It's huge. I candidly, though, we don't know if it would have solved my problem because my mail was never put in trash.
Right.
It was just the inbox was just resynced. So he was going to go look at that. He was like, I think you'd still be okay. I think we still have it. I'm like, oh, it's too late to try, and I'm not interested in repeating the experiment. I'm like, but you go. Well, they have some test mailboxes, it turns out.
Of course. Yeah.
So.
Well, just a quick then mention though, one of the things I do, and this is really an uphill battle, but if you have your own domain, I go into my cPanel or my email, and I block some of the more egregious domains. As soon as I create filters that as soon as it sees it's from that domain, it's gone. It doesn't even hit my inbox. It just goes away.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that with your. You don't even have to have your own domain. You could just build a mail rule.
Yeah, that's true. Gmail will do that.
Yeah.
Anything from that.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But that's really that's an uphill battle.
Yeah,
they keep
you're
writing
right.
new domains every day.
Well, and they'll send mail from like MacGeekGab.com. I mean, hopefully nobody's getting spam from feedback at MacGeekGab.com because that's where we want to hear from you.
Where feedback at MacGeekGab.com?
That's right. Yeah.
I was muted, but he said feedback at MacGeekGab.com.
I guess the last thing would be. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, is MailSieve still a thing, or is that long?
It
gone?
is. SpamSieve, you mean?
Or SpamSieve? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
it is. I used SpamSieve for a long time. I mean, it was that, more than most things, that's trained on your corpus of data, right? So like SpamSieve learns you, which is great, but it is happening locally, meaning you need to have a computer running all the time in order for, like, SpamSieve doesn't run on your phone. So it needs to be running on your Mac, and your Mac needs to not be asleep in order for SpamSieve to provide, or any, not just SpamSieve, but any local thing to provide that value. But yes, if you've got a machine running all the time, then SpamSieve is absolutely still a thing. And
That's cool.
And is that very well trained kind of local AI? Use whatever term you want, but it's trained on your stuff.
I ask because I've just known people over the years that's been their go-to, and they've used it for years, and they love it. So,
yeah. Now that you say that, I wonder if my best solution is to install or to set up my mail account on that headless iMac that's running all the time, and go back to using SpamSieve.
Yeah.
Huh. I'll have to look at that. Interesting. The future, the past is present again.
Yeah. Everything old is new again.
That's the phrase I was looking for. Thank you.
There you go.
Well, and I think
The
it's a
most
good option.
aggressive way to do it would be to whitelist, right? Anyone in your known senders could send something to you, but,
Yeah, but
man,
even
you
then-
are really, you're filtering out a lot of stuff that you may want, but you know,
But how many times have you gotten an email like I was saying with the MacGeekGab.com domain? Like,
Yeah,
people
fair enough.
can spoof the domain. It needs more. It's not that simple. Is really
correct.
the answer, and that's why you need. Like SpamSieve is a great example because you can actually see some of the granularity of what it's doing, but it's not making a judgment based on just any one factor. It's a series of heuristics that each have a score. And I know I'm oversimplifying it, but you add up the score, and when it hits a certain number, that's when it gets categorized as spam.
Yep.
And that's like what all the cloud spam services do too. Like they just aren't necessarily trained on your data. Fastmail is pretty good at training on your data. SpamSieve obviously is training on your data. Google is terrible at training on your data. I don't know about iCloud because Apple doesn't really talk about it. So yeah, at least as far as I know. So
Yeah, I mean,
well, that was a quick tip.
I knew we were going to have this detour at some point, so it's fine.
That's fine. No, that's good. Well, we answered a question in there, right? How do you?
Exactly. We answered two questions. Well, actually, we didn't. We might as well just finish the mail conversation while we're here.
Sure.
David asked us all which mail providers we use for our email. And obviously, I've already shared, I've shared one of mine. But Adam, what do you use?
I mean, the number one I would say is Google. I have everything running through Google accounts. Some of them are, I think I have a couple that are still grandfathered as free, but maybe that went away. I'm probably paying for each one now, but I only have, a couple.
Yeah.
I think I have 2 or 3 accounts that I use. And then, I think that's it. I'm trying to think if I have anything outside of Google. I have like a Yahoo account that I've had for years. It's like just junk throwaway account that I don't really have connected to anything.
Sure.
But I think everything else goes through Google or through whatever Backbeat is using.
Backbeat's Google. Yeah. And MacGeekGab is Google. Yeah, I mean, for our domain stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. How about you, Pete?
So, well, I use my own domain and have cPanel email set up there. I have a Gmail address.
But you just skipped over I know you have your own domain, and I know you use cPanel. Who's your mail provider? Like what hosting company is hosting your mail?
That's Just Host. They're my
Just Host. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
which
it.
I think got bought by Bluehost.
Okay.
Recently.
Got it.
But yeah, so I see what you're saying. It took me a minute to catch up.
Yeah,
I'm back.
I know. Yeah. But there's a host in there somewhere. Like
yes, absolutely.
The mail is stored on someone's server. Who owns
Correct.
it?
Yeah. So that's there. Obviously, you get more granular control in some ways. I do have a Gmail account, obviously iCloud and a me.com.
Yeah.
And I really like the ability of with the hide my mail, because you can go in settings and turn off. You can use a hide my mail outbound, and you start getting stuff back that you don't like. You can turn that email address off and it goes to the ether, for which I also use a duck.com email.
Oh,
if you go to DuckDuckGo, get a duck.com email address, it forwards to your address of your choice that you choose, and then you can create all kinds of aliases, and when you start getting stuff, you turn it off.
That's fair. I should have mentioned that earlier. Yeah, I have iCloud, and I have another thing on just dealing with spam. Now when I sign up for anything, I'm finding I'm more and more, if they have sign in with Apple, I'm using it, and I'm also using the hide my email feature.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, it's I'm curious which email provider you folks use, and if there's something distinctive about why you're using it, let us know. Feedback at macgeekgab.com for sure.
Yeah.
The other half of this conversation is I've thought about switching. I mean, because email's gotten of all the stuff, it used to be email was like this freebie, right? But now you have to pretty much pay everywhere. And I've thought about getting my stuff off Google, but then the idea of doing that is so daunting to me that I'm like, I'm just going to keep paying.
Yeah.
I'd like to consolidate. Maybe I probably could get a cheaper solution, but the idea of just even having to migrate all my mail and like deal with that, and I know it's probably more in my head worse than I think it is.
It's much worse than you think it's much worse than it really is. I did this years ago, and of course it's gotten better, right, since I did it. But even when I did it, I think, how long have I been with Fastmail? 5 years now, more. I've been like, for my primary email, I still have an alternate email account that like Gmail, and then of course I run my own mail server for my archives, only for my archives.
Go with that.
But it's true.
Yeah,
but
you swore you'd never do it.
I know. It's the right way to archive your mail. But anyway, my moving to Fastmail from Gmail specifically, because I had all my email coming into one, Gmail account that was sort of my everything, and I was going to move to Fastmail to be my everything, and I did. And Fastmail has a little import your mail feature, and I went in, and it was like log into Gmail, and you can, and then it was like, all right, you want me to do this? And I was like, yep. And it was like, okay, I'll let you know when I'm done. And I clicked send, or I clicked go, and I went to sleep. And I woke up, and it was like, okay, everything's here. And then I had to point my MX records, and because I moved my domain too. I didn't just go from having an @gmail.com account to an @Fastmail or whatever.
Right.
I chose to bring my domain with me, which fine. I mean, that that's its own little thing. It's not a huge deal, but then I did that, and then everything was fine. It was great. Yeah. And I just noticed Fastmail sponsored us. That's actually why I moved to Fastmail years and years ago. They haven't sponsored us in years. Maybe we need to fix that. But fastmail.com/MGG still gets you 10% off. They haven't expired the coupon in the years since. So.
Nice.
Yeah. So that link's in the show notes, but it's not a paid mention, or at least it's not anymore. So.
But it's payable for you. Paid to you.
Yeah. You get your 10%. Yeah. And Fastmail's been great. Like they are nerds over there. They like the service is super clean and easy to use. But if you want to get into the nitty gritty, there's lots, as proven by them having the undelete feature. It's like, oh, gotta dig in to find it. So, yeah. And their Mac app is far more full featured than I realized. They just need to fix some keyboard shortcuts and stuff so that we realize that it can do cool things. So. Stay tuned on that.
Very cool.
Yep. All right. Should we
move on?
I don't know. Should we? You know what I want to do? I want to like, speaking of sponsors, even though Fastmail is not a sponsor, there are some people who have sponsored this episode, and I want to tell you about them. Yeah, we really appreciate it. Like I know I said this last week, but we really appreciate it when you that you allow us the opportunity to do this, to support the show and all the content we do. So I am more than happy to tell you about our sponsors. All right. So you know how on MGG here, we're always trying to automate the boring stuff, right? So you don't get caught wasting time on it. Payroll and HR were that headache for me, right? As much as I like numbers and accounting, like the spreadsheets, the forms, the tax deadlines, all that stuff, it does not spark joy. Enter our sponsor, Gusto. Gusto is online payroll and benefits software built for small businesses. It's all in one, remote friendly, and incredibly easy to use. So you can pay, hire, onboard, and support your team from anywhere. And for us here, that's the kind of thing that flips a switch. Automatic payroll, tax filing, simple direct deposit, and benefits all wired together so I can focus on actually running the business instead of chasing paperwork. And the geeky part I love, once it's set up, it just runs like a well-scripted automation, right? No hidden fees, no surprises, just unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price. So don't get caught doing payroll the hard way. Try Gusto today at gusto.com/MGG and get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. That's 3 months of free payroll at gusto.com/MGG. One more time, gusto.com/MGG. Try it out. I think you're going to like it. And our thanks to Gusto for sponsoring this episode. And look, if you spend your day pushing text around on a Mac like I do, you do not want to get caught using the wrong tools. That's why I use BBEdit. BBEdit 15.5 builds on that rock-solid 15 foundation with a massive pile of performance improvements and a bunch of new toys for us text nerds, right? You get Apple Intelligence writing tools right inside of BBEdit for inline summarizing, proofreading and composition to help while you write. FTPS support means you can securely edit and deploy files right from BBEdit when your server insists on all that stuff. That means when you want to test in production like I do, I know it drives Adam crazy, but sometimes it's just how it works. You can just do it, and it works great. They've reworked the internals, so multi-file search and replace, complex grep, huge markdown docs, all that just feels faster and smoother. I use BBEdit all the time. It's running on my Mac right now. I don't even have to check because it's always running on my Mac. I edit text. I do multi-file find and replace. I count words, and I use it to build the chapters file that then embeds the chapters in every episode of Mac Geek Gab and all the other podcasts I do. Go grab your generous 30-day full-featured eval. And if you're upgrading from an older version, there's discounted pricing available waiting for you at barebones.com. Don't get caught without BBEdit. Go check it out, barebones.com. And our thanks to BBEdit for sponsoring this episode. Back to quick tips now. Thank you for that, folks. I appreciate it. We appreciate it. I mean, I'm one of we. You had a time machine backup Tahoe issue, Pete?
I did. About a week ago, I noticed the alert saying, hey, I'm not backing up to your NAS drive anymore. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Sure.
Whatever,
Yeah.
A day later, it was still there. I'm like, okay, let me make sure it's mounted. Yeah, it's mounted. Okay, here, try again. It's like, no, can't do it. It's like, what's going on? Well, apparently when I upgraded to Tahoe, so this has been going on since February 4th. I went back and looked. That was the last day it updated for me. I don't know if Mac OS tightened up things or whatever, but the long and short of it is I had to go into my NAS drive, my Synology, and tell it, hey, you need to tell Mac OS it's okay. So I went into Control Panel, File Services, Advanced, Bonjour, and clicked Enable Bonjour Time Machine Broadcast via SMB.
Yeah.
And saved it, and I was back up and running. So if anyone else has upgraded to Tahoe and hasn't noticed, maybe go check and make sure your time machine is working. And if it's not, it was opportunistic locking or something like that. I forget what the exact error was, but once I clicked on that enable, it all went away and it's back to working.
So you did not have Time Machine running over SMB? Was it running over AFP, Apple File Protocol?
It must have been, Dave, because I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, the tip would be turn off AFP. And sure. We've shared this tip years ago. Like it used to be AFP was the thing. And I'm not just talking Time Machine. I'm talking all of your connections to your NAS should be AFP. Sorry. SMB. All of your connections to your NAS should be SMB only. I've turned off AFP, Apple File Protocol, on my NAS, and Apple has too, right? Your Macs used to talk to each other using AFP when you file shared. For years now, it's been SMB. So yeah, maybe Tahoe finally drew a line in the sand and said no more. So yeah,
that must be what happened. But it was weird. And then of course I had to re-add that drive. Once I had done that, I did go into Time Machine and say, hey, use this drive. And it went, oh, there's already a backup there. Do you want to use that? And you can choose yes or no. I obviously chose yes. Well, maybe not obviously, but I did choose yes.
Yeah.
So
cool. All right.
Huh.
Good. Go ahead, Adam.
That's interesting. No, I was just thinking about that. I'll need to check I don't remember if I still have AFP turned on or not on my Synology. I haven't checked. But one thing I just noticed, I went into my settings and I scrolled down because I was looking for Time Machine to see what it was up to. And yes, it's way broken and I probably need to remove it. But I just realized I have Fuse installed still.
Mac Fuse. Oh, wow.
I don't know why. or if it's even working. And when I click on it, I get it. It's being very buggy in the system settings. So I think I have a don't get caught there.
Well,
I probably don't need that.
Yeah, Tanel wrote in this week with a don't get caught and said for a long time I had serious connectivity issues with my Mac on my work network. Things got worse after installing the latest developer beta. He says, I know. Apple Mail became almost unusable on any network. Long story short, I had installed Trip Mode on my Mac, which is an app that essentially puts your Mac in low data mode. It predates Apple's low data mode thing, and it was built for people who were tethering to their phones. Their Mac would see, I'm on Wi-Fi, sync everything, and chew up all your data. He says it was sitting in the background. I had completely forgotten about it. And he says, since my employer now gives me 50 gigs per month, that is usable everywhere in the EU, which is evidently where Tanel lives. This is one of the perks of working at a major university. So yeah, be aware of the software that you have installed years and years ago. I wonder, what's the advice? I mean, the advice is be aware, but what's that process look like for people like, I was going to say like you and me, Adam, which essentially means like you, me, and Pete, which therefore means like everybody that's listening who has installed all the cool things and you probably use those things like Mac Fuse and Trip Mode that you might not need anymore.
Right.
What's the best way to do an audit of these things? Go ahead, Pete. Yeah.
Clean my Mac.
Yeah.
It'll go in and tell you apps that you haven't used in a long time, if I recall. I haven't used that in a long time, that feature in a long time, but I think it does that. And I suppose you could AI your way into this, and it will delete every app on your computer if you let it.
Yeah, but you could have it not do that, right? You'd have it give you a list, but I mean, you'd need to somehow tell it what you have. There's no, I mean, and I don't recommend running OpenClaw on your primary machine at all, but that would be the way, right? Is tell it, hey, look at what's installed here and give me a list. And it could absolutely do that, like no problem whatsoever. But I don't recommend that yet.
Yeah.
Someday, but not today's not someday.
I'm doing it now. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Look, it deleted Chrome. I'm leaving.
Here's how bad it is. That I finally got that system preference panel to load up, and it says the installed version is 3.82. The latest version is 5.13.
Ooh. Yeah, see, that's a problem, right? Like how far back? Well, you said you're on 3.82.
Yeah.
That was July of 2018 that came out, Adam.
Yeah, I think I can remove this. I think I'll be removing this.
Yeah.
I doubt it's being used.
We did not know the term Apple Silicon when that particular version was installed, Adam.
Right on. Yeah. So there is an applications tab on Clean My Mac, and it says take control of your applications, uninstall, update, or remove old application leftovers.
Yeah.
You can scan it. And
I don't know that it would find Mac Fuse though, or Trip, but maybe it might find Trip Mode, right? But even still, like it doesn't know what I still use. I mean, I think it knows when an app was most recently launched, and that's handy. But I mean, Trip Mode, in Tanel's case, was being launched every day. So looking in your login items, that's a good place to look.
Yep.
Right? Like, there's other places to kind of clean this up. It's not the simple, I don't think there's a simple answer.
So it says, I hit scan, it says 53 unused applications found.
Right.
So I guess it knows the last time it opened.
Right.
Oh, yeah. I clicked on that, and it says, October 6th. 2018 was the last time I used Android file transfer.
Right. No, that makes sense. But if you've got an app that's running in the background,
correct.
Clean My Mac's not going to find it, which would be the case with
it's running. Sure.
Mac Fuse or Trip Mode. Right. Yeah. So it's not just consuming space; it's consuming other resources too.
Yeah.
So check your login items and check your launch agents. Lingon is my favorite app for that. So. Yeah. Lingon, right? Why am I not finding that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Lingon. Yeah, from I'll put it in the thing. Why am I not finding Peter Borg? Yeah. Okay, great. Now I've got a link to Lingon. It's the right link now.
Yeah, there's a.
I know. This is a rabbit hole. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at how many things are in my login items, and I'm like, I don't want that. I don't want that.
Right.
That. Oh my god.
Yeah. And you're not seeing the launch agents, right? Like that's a whole different thing, and Lingon's going to help you
I
with
see
that.
what the issue is, though. These aren't just login. I'm looking at just app background activity, which is also in there because it's under extensions.
Yes.
It's like, okay, now I know why some of these things are running.
Yes.
But I see one immediately that I don't want running. So
Yep.
it's a good audit. That's a great audit.
Yeah.
It's only difficult for me too, because also in here are a bunch of low level things that say like from unidentified developer.
Yeah.
But they're like, one is postfix, which I use for like email testing and stuff like that. So like I know I installed that at one point.
Yeah.
But you might not know if you're not, informed about, like if you homebrewed a bunch of stuff onto your system, there might be stuff running that you did put in there, but you just don't remember.
Yeah.
So just
but
be
they
careful.
would, if something is running on your Mac, and I know there's going to be people that say, well, but it could also be, but checking login items for your account and then launch agents and launch daemons, that's going to get 99% of it. It's not going to get the things that are running with cron in an old way. You'd need to do something else for that. But that's going to get all the things you've installed. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the thing is just be careful, because I was like looking at it and I'm like, oh, why is that there? I don't, and then you need to do some investigating on some of the things to make sure.
Yeah. If you don't know,
you're not like
search
disabling something that, oh yeah, I did install that, years ago for that thing that I'm doing and relying on every day.
Every day. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So avoid unintentionally breaking something. Like just don't assume, like I looked at one of them like unidentified developer, like, oh, did I get hacked? Well, like what put in there? Like why, how would I have something from unidentified developer? But it just means it wasn't, I'm assuming it's part of the, Mac system where it's not a signed application, but I install a lot of stuff through like Homebrew and stuff, and that's not going to go through Apple's vetting and be signed,
Right. Right.
So
just
be careful. I mean,
yes. Yeah. Don't get caught. Right. Like
don't get caught. Like just, oh, I don't need that.
I used to
all
say,
been there.
I used to say, Google it,
Right.
and that's still valuable, but you could ask your LLM, like, okay, what is this trip mode thing? And why do I have it installed on my Mac? And it would probably give you a good, a good description of it. So
it'll get you going down the path for sure.
It'll get, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's better than starting from scratch with a random Google search.
Yep. Yeah, this is a really good thing, especially for those of us that have, which I think is probably most of us, that have come to just use Migration Assistant every time we get a new computer and don't nuke and pave.
Right.
You're going to wind up on your on your Apple Silicon Mac
with Fuse.
With Mac Fuse, which I guarantee you at least one of my Macs still has Mac Fuse on it, like as you're saying this. So where did you find it, by the way, Mac Fuse specifically? Remind us.
It actually showed up because it has a system preference panel. So it was just way at the bottom. So I opened up system settings, and the very last thing at the very, very bottom under Backblaze is Fuse.
Huh. Wow. All right. Well, there you go.
Because remember, those used to be, you used to have those as system preference panels, but those are gone now. You have to have an app, but they still let you link to basically the app through the system preference panel.
Huh. Interesting. Fun stuff. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Pete, you got another interesting one from Will. Someday we'll get out of quick tips. I don't think we will. Go ahead. That's you, Adam.
That's
Sorry.
me. Yeah. I'm up
that's
with
you.
Will. Yeah. Will says, from episode 1130, I was able to use the network quality test in Perplexity Pro, say that 5 times real fast, to diagnose a network issue I was having. I used the network quality-v verbose human readable command to test my connection after strange intermittent inability to get to sites and watch YouTube videos on all my devices. Thinking it was just a fluke, I went to bed and tried again this morning, same issues. I remember hearing about the test while listening to the episode yesterday, so I tried it out and got an error and fed that error into Perplexity, and which suggested some troubleshooting steps like doing a ping, it looks like to an Apple website. I assume we'll have some of this information in the show notes. I'm not going to go through all the sudo commands, have you? And then ran the test again, same issues. I fed that error result back into Perplexity, and it suggested a DNS issue rather. I changed my DNS from my router to my provider DNS to iCloud 1.1.1 for primary and Google 8.8.8 for secondary, and boom, magically everything was fixed. Thank you for all you do, helping me solve this geek challenge and not getting caught. Will, yeah, in apps smurfly. DNS issues, especially if you have just your local hosting provider or your internet provider. I've been caught by those in the past for sure.
For sure. Yeah. And you said iCloud. The 1.1.1.1 is Cloudflare's.
Oh,
DNS.
did I say iCloud?
You did, but it's totally fine. But
no, Cloudflare.
Yeah, we'll put those in the show notes.
I use now.
Yeah, I use Cloudflare as my primary and Google as my secondary, and that has served me very, very well. Yeah, the local, especially like now that I'm on this, Breeze line fiber. The fiber is great. But, I mean, come on, they're a regional ISP. Right. Their DNS isn't going to be great. Like, there's no way. So
are those encrypted? I went to Quad 9 because those are encrypted DNS queries.
Well, the Quad 9 that's just 4 nines. Is if you were to just issue a DNS query to Quad 9, it's not encrypted. You have to configure your devices to do encrypted queries, and that would be generally DNS over HTTPS is how that works. And I
set that up a long time ago.
All three of them that we mentioned support that.
You can do that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how to do encrypted DNS from your Mac specifically. I've always set it up in my router. The DNS that's happening locally on my network is not encrypted, and I'm okay with that. But the DNS over HTTPS from your router to the rest of the world. Yeah. So that brings up a good clarification here. When we're talking about changing DNS, certainly you can change it on your Mac, but the best way to do it for your local home network is to make your router your Mac's DNS. So set your Mac's DNS to be to your router's IP, and that will normally happen as part of the kind of the auto address
DHCP
assignment with DHCP. Yeah, but then you set your router's DNS to one of these that we've discussed, the Cloudflare or the Google, and let it go from there. So,
yeah, I used to use in the past. I used OpenDNS, but I stopped using them for Cloudflare.
Same. Yeah, I used OpenDNS for a long time. I forgot about them. They were nice because you could sort of specifically filter things from your home network, which was
helpful when you're raising kids.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, unless you're raising
and now
nerds.
Your kids are more capable of breaking that than you.
Correct. That is 100% true. Yeah. Yeah. No. But I realized my son was a better programmer than me long before he did. Yeah. And that wasn't a terrible time lapse, by the way. Yeah, he thought for a long time that I had him beat with skills. And there was a period of time, of course, where I did. And then that changed very, very quickly. So, yeah. But
and I don't know about you guys, but I set these up just on my router.
Yeah.
Rather than, I mean, you can do it locally.
That's what I was just saying.
On a Mac by Mac basis, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you set it up on your Mac and you get to a hotel, you can find yourself quickly not connected to the world because it's trying to use DNS that it can't get to the world. I've found myself jammed up more than once before I realized quit messing with DNS locally.
Yes. And to that end, when you get to a hotel, I often find that I have to turn off Tailscale on my laptop or my phone.
Yes.
Until
I go
turn it
back on.
Until I go through the captive portal thing, and then I can turn it back on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, I think we talked about it on the show, the UniFi travel router thing that I used.
Yes.
Did we talk about that when I used it at NAMM? Because I had a different one. I had the TP-Link one at CES. The UniFi one is it is basically the size of about 3 credit cards stacked together. So,
Nice.
yeah. And automatically, if you have a UniFi router at home, you don't need one. But if you have a UniFi router at home, it can inherit your home SSID and password, so all your devices are just like, hey, we're at home, we're good, and we can connect, which is really nice. Yeah. So I'll be using that at South by Southwest. But yeah, that UniFi travel router is a pretty good thing. And it's cheap too, like inexpensive. I don't want to say it's cheap because it's built very well. In fact, it's $79. So yeah, I know. Yeah, it's and even though it's flat, it has like an expandable thing if you happen to have an Ethernet port in your hotel room, or if you want to Ethernet into this, it's got 2 Ethernet ports on it, so you can, and 2 USB-C ports. It's actually pretty cool the way it kind of opens up to.
That's original MacBook style.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Do you remember that? It had the little door
do.
for your ports, and because it was so thin.
Like the pop-up headlights on your RX-7.
Yeah. No, it's a cool little thing. Anyway.
It's cheap but not worth it. No, how do you say
it's
it?
inexpensive.
There's
and
cheap
worth
and worth
it.
it. There you go. It's inexpensive. That's the only way to say it.
Inexpensive and worth more than you will pay. Yeah.
Yes.
So again, the only problem using a travel router in a hotel room is that every device, usually in most hotels, every device is bandwidth limited. Every device counts, but every device is bandwidth limited, meaning if you had connected your phone to the hotel Wi-Fi and your laptop to the hotel Wi-Fi, they each get their own allotment of bandwidth. Yeah.
Yeah, picking up.
If you connect your travel router, it gets 1 allotment of bandwidth. So just bear that in mind.
Now you're going to make me go down a rabbit hole a little bit.
As if that's for the
that's
first
never
time
happened here
episode.
before.
Yeah, let's go down a rabbit hole.
Here's my question to you. Like more and more lately, I've just been using my Wi-Fi hotspot, especially when I'm traveling, because I'm in a big city and I'm getting 5G ultra wideband, which is like almost always better than what I get with the hotel.
Yep. Yeah. So how much bandwidth do you have on your connection?
Unlimited.
Oh, see, that's the difference between you and me. Yeah. Yeah. But that
I pay a lot.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, but what I could do.
You talking bandwidth or data?
Yeah, data allotment.
Yeah, we got 20 now, right?
I don't. You and me not same. I have 15 gigs through Mint. That's what I pay for with Mint.
Oh.
And then I also happen to have for another 6 or 8 months or something, BreezeLine, when I switched to them, gave me a year's worth of a cell connection. Like I have another phone number. I have a
tethering
phone. Tethering with BreezeLine is they say unlimited.
Yeah.
But when you hit 25 or something, it
start throttling.
Slows down. Yeah. So that's a really good idea though. I hadn't even though I'm saving money with Mint by not going to their unlimited plan, right? I pay $15 a month or whatever it is. But I could buy, if I want better Wi-Fi when I travel, you're already paying for it, Adam and Pete. Right. I could just choose to buy an eSIM for the trip. And I can use my BreezeLine thing now, but in lieu of that, I could just buy an eSIM for the trip. It sucks to have to pay for Wi-Fi when you're in a hotel, but not if the hotel Wi-Fi sucks. So
right, exactly. Right. And just I feel like it's more secure. I'm not going through their stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. And I don't travel as much as you guys do. So probably if I traveled more, I'd worry about this more in terms of like bandwidth and stuff. But I do have basically unlimited bandwidth. There might be a cap on my tethering, but it's really high. It's like I'm never going to hit it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was saying. Mine went from 10 to 20 gigs recently on Mint with the unlimited plan, and you have to work to use 20 gigs. You could do it.
It's true. You're right. I should I look every month on Mint to see how much I have left and how much my family has left, mainly so I can make an informed decision at the end of the Mint year, to buy the next plans or whatever, because they don't give you any history because they don't want you to know. They don't want you to be able to look historically when you think about it. So I do it. I have a thing on my calendar every month, and I go in and I just log what's, how much is left. And I just did it. Like our thing happens like today or something. So I just did it yesterday, and we're all on 15 gig plans, and every one of us has at least 8 gigs left on the month, if not 10. So yeah, we generally use 5 to 7 gigs each in a month, and
See, when I usually do really well, except when we do like a road trip or something, and then that's when I really crunch it down.
Yeah, because you're on your, if you're not the one driving, you're on your laptop doing work or whatever, and it just killing yourself. Yeah, for sure. But it's really nice to be able to do that. So, and it, you can buy an eSIM that's not that expensive if you want more than what you get. So yeah. I'm curious. I mean, my guess is we've exhausted through the options here, but I'm curious what everybody else uses when you travel. Huh? Back to the day. I imagine if we had the tethering options that we have now. Imagine if we had those back when hotels were charging us $15 or $20 a day for Wi-Fi.
Right.
Like, yep, pound sand, man. Later. All right. Where are we? Should we do some I don't
questions?
Know. Well, we can do questions. Yeah.
Do AI or what?
No. We've talked enough about AI. We can. We will in another episode, but unless there's something somebody really wants to get to. But you guys, Rob has a question that I also have for the two of you. Rob writes, Adam, for reasons I am still a bit unsure of, I ordered a Vision Pro today. We have a trip coming up with many painful hours in the air ahead of us, and I wanted a bit of an escape to try them out and see if they stick. I remember you mentioning there was a game you were playing on them with other people. I can't remember the name of it now. Do you still like it and recommend it? Any other tips or tricks that I need to be aware of? I ordered an extra battery for it and also bought the Spygen case from Amazon. Aside from gaming and movies, do you find that the Apple Vision Pro is really a useful productivity tool? I'm hoping so, as I admit building a realistic justification for it is admittedly a big ask. Thank you, and I appreciate your insights. And I know this question was directed at Adam from Rob because I don't think we've done an episode since, or at least we haven't talked about the fact that Pete also ordered one and has one. So I'm curious from either of you, like, what was the game, if you don't mind saying that again, Adam?
It's called, and I'm going to probably pronounce it wrong, it's called Daimyo.
Yep.
It's a tabletop, like miniatures style Dungeons and Dragons kind of like game.
Yeah.
And I'm playing with Barry and George, a couple of friends. And we love it. I mean, it's great because you get the presence thing, like, you have a little avatar, you can see the other person's hands sitting around the table, like it's like you're literally at a table.
Yeah.
And the voice presence stuff, you can tell, like sometimes somebody will walk away to get coffee or something like that, and you see them kind of walk away, but you also hear them, kind of fade out.
Oh yeah.
And then they come back, and like it's as close to like being in the same room and probably playing a tabletop game. And I'm hoping more of this style of game comes out. We've been looking for more of them. There's one that I have that is just a card table with like decks of cards, and you like literally play cards. Like there's not any actual gameplay in it. It's just like, all right, shuffle a deck of cards. We got 5
do whatever
people
you
here.
want.
Each person's going to get 5. We can play poker or whatever card game you would want to play.
So what's interesting, Adam, is that when Pete got his Apple Vision Pro, I bought Pete's Meta Quest 3S. Because Lisa and Lucas have Meta Quests, and Lisa was like, wait, you should get one of these. Like, it'd be really fun.
Dave wants his money back.
No, not at all. Oh no.
Oh, good.
No, we've used it. We were playing golf the other night, mini golf, and actually we were playing bowling the other night, but mini golf's another one. Oh no, we played mini. I don't know, whatever. It's fun. And what I was curious about is, does this Demio game exist?
Yeah,
for the Quest, and it does. And I wonder, can you have mixed?
I'm pretty sure you
is
can
it okay
play,
to mix religions on
play
this?
Cross-platform with
Cross-platform,
this,
yeah.
We haven't done
Interesting.
it yet. I don't know if it changes any of the dynamics or what
Right.
the experiences, or if there's
Right.
different experiences for different players. I will say also they came out with a Demio version that we're now playing that unfortunately they don't have for the Vision Pro. That's like a Dungeons and Dragons themed one. I forget. It's got a specific different name, and I'm blanking on it right now. And so we're currently playing that, but I'm just playing on my Mac. I mean, you can play it on virtual display, and I tried doing that on the so I had it on my Mac, but I had my Vision Pro, and you can do the ultra wide screen, the wide screen, blah, blah, blah. And that's going to get into the productivity part of this question. So, I mean, definitely for entertainment, they now have a native YouTube app finally that we talked about, I think, last time for the Vision Pro. So that's great. So now you can do all of the spatial video content that YouTube has on the Vision Pro. So that has really expanded the usability of it. But outside entertainment and games, like productivity wise, I tried doing it recently. Now that I got so what changed for me productivity wise, and I'm assuming he has the new one with the dual strap, but I ordered myself one of the dual straps, which was like $100, and that was kind of the game changer for me. Because
no pun intended.
Felt comfortable. No, it felt comfortable enough to wear for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So I had originally tried doing the virtual display thing, but like after about a couple hours, it was like, this is like hurting my neck. It's not feeling that great. And so I'm like, well, let me try this again. And I did try working in it for a good part of a day. I think I got about 5-6 hours in using just the virtual displays. And it was great. So, and as a matter of fact, I found out recently, George, the guy I play the game with, he's been using it as his exclusive displays with his Mac for like over a year, if not longer. So like he ditched his displays and just works in his Vision Pro.
It's nice using it, the virtual display.
Yeah. So what do you like? Tell me about your like first level thoughts, first entry thoughts into this. Like how is it working for you, Pete?
It works great. I think if I set my space up for it. Yeah. Or are you asking Pete?
I was asking Pete, but either one. I'm just curious. Well, yeah. Keep going.
I mean, my problem with mine is I have my kind of displays in front of me, my two 4K LG displays that I bought recently. And so they're kind of in the way when I'm like working in that environment. I mean, the Apple Vision Pro is smart enough to block that stuff out, but in certain scenarios, I mean, you still can see and have access. But I think if I like took the displays away and had nothing in front of me, I don't know that you would really tell too much of a difference between. And then you get all the other advantages of you can have your widgets all around your room that are locked and fixed in place. You could have, additional just native Vision Pro apps for, for like Zoom and all that sort of stuff. And the avatars, the personas, I think that's what Apple calls them, are now really, really good. Like they're not uncanny valley anymore. They're like pretty close to like looking like you.
So how are you thinking? Like how is this working for you, Pete? Because this is new to you, right? Like
it is newer to me. A couple things I want to mention. First off, case, smartest option. If you're going to get one of these things, the coin you're going to put into it, get a case. Don't throw it in a backpack. Don't throw it in a suitcase and hope that nothing happens to it. Case is the way to go. And then the other thing I noticed, it took me a little getting used to when it first came up, that this virtual keyboard comes up, and I'm trying to tap with my index finger on the virtual keyboard. And it took me, I don't know, a couple days when I realized all I have to do is look at a letter and pinch. I don't have to move my hands. Anytime I look at a letter, I just pinch, and that's how you quickly type on it without having to move your hands all over the place and look like you're having, some kind of a seizure if you're on an airplane, say. And then you can freak out the flight attendants by, reaching out and grabbing the cup from them, even though you're wearing this thing.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, they can see them. And the other quick funny on this was I asked my daughter, I says, well, can you see my, supposedly you could do the eyes, but can you see my eyes? And I'm like, oh, hold on. And I moved the screen out of the way so she could see me. Well, of course, she can't see the screen that I just
of course
moved out of the way. It's like, oh yeah, it's not there. But yeah, once I realized I could use it as a virtual display with my laptop, that, with the big displays, I can see why that would be kind of like counterproductive or, it's redundant.
Yeah.
But with my laptop, it's really nice. I can have the display as big or as small as I want, as close or as far as I want. The comfort, mine came with the dual headband over the top and behind the back of your head. Right, because you've got the new
one, yeah.
Yeah, and boy, is that nice. It really is. I haven't got anything to compare it against, but I have worn it for hours at a time on airplanes, watching movies.
So I want to ask about this because with the Quest, I don't have the extra battery or anything with it yet. Right. And I say yet. And I notice when I've been wearing it for like an hour, it's front heavy, right? So yes. I'm working to keep it balanced. Lisa on her, she has the Quest 3, not the 3S, but it's effectively the same. At least as far as this is concerned, she's got the headband with the extra battery, and she said obviously that gives you more battery life.
A counterbalance too.
More importantly, it gives you that counterbalance, and that's what you're finding too, Adam, with that.
Yeah, well,
headband.
Remember too, the dual band has weights in it in the back.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's got that counterbalance. Okay.
It's got the extra weights, which I think also make a huge difference over the solo knit band, which didn't have those.
Yeah.
So the between the top strap, you can just basically the problem with the Vision Pro with the solo band was it just would tend to sit down on your cheeks a little bit.
Okay.
And that would start to hurt after a while. So same kind of front heavy thing. And so those two things I think really solve the problem because the weight pulls your head back a little bit.
Right.
And then the top strap just is able to lift it up enough. I find I don't have to do a lot with the top strap, but it's just pulling a little bit of the weight off the front of your nose and the front part of your cheek.
For sure.
Makes a huge difference.
No, that's my issue with the Quest. With the 3S Adam, too, it's like go ahead.
Adam, does that back band on the single one, does that go down below the point of your skull where?
Yeah, you can position. You can position wherever you want, and I found actually with that one, I liked it a little bit further up on my head because again, it would pull that weight up a little bit more. Rather than having
I lower that
on the back
one down.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Thank you guys. Yeah, no, this is helpful. Yeah, it's good to know. I know we didn't get to anything else, but well, I mean, we got to a lot of things. That whole email conversation that we had, that's actually been sitting in the agenda for I don't know 2 months, 3 months, something like
agenda,
that.
Schmagenda.
It's been sitting there.
I want to address one thing Pete said about getting a case. So I've been trying to think about, I've been wanting to get a case, right? And a lot of them can tend to be pretty expensive. I mean, somewhere in the, let's just call it 75 to 100 plus range for a Vision Pro case.
Yeah.
I was looking around for something because I was going to travel and I'm like, how am I going to travel with this thing? I had been using the original box and I'm like, that's too big. I don't want to carry that around. I wanted to fit it inside my carry-on suitcase or whatever. Looked around and I found my daughter had left a soft-sided cooler lunch pail.
Oh.
That was probably $15 from Walmart.
Yeah.
And everything fit in there perfectly. And that's what I've been using. That's what I've been using as my Vision Pro case.
That makes, you just need something that's got soft padding and is going to hold it. That makes sense. I now that you say that, I'm thinking, okay, what do musicians use things like this all the time to bring they're like weirdly configured pedal boards or whatever. It's like this fragile thing that's a weird shape, and I'm the only one that has it this way. So, and yet needs to be in a case that I can throw around, when it's closed.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if like one of those cases that has like those modular foam pieces in it that you can sort of arrange however you need for your stuff would be good.
So this one is perfect because it's the exact size to fit the Vision Pro, and then I use the original packaging. There's a cardboard piece that covers the lens part of it, and then goes around to the back of the band.
Yeah.
So I'm still using that, and then in the circle that's in the middle, that's where I put the power brick and the power case, and I just have that kind of wrapped in a, like a. Not a towel, but like a cloth, a cleaning cloth.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh,
and,
right. Yeah.
It just all fits in there nicely, and it's super compact, a lot even smaller than some of the commercial cases. Now, again, I don't think I'd carry it around alone in that case. I then take that and put it fits nicely in my like carry-on suitcase.
Sure.
I can pack other stuff around it. But it provides enough protection in that scenario because I have a hard-sided like travel case. I don't know that I'd carry it around. And then, when I get to the airport, I can just take that out and then kind of carry it onto a plane.
Carry it onto,
traveling or whatever. And then,
So Dave, I shared a link with you because when I tried to share my screen, it said something about removing other media and all that. But in the back room, I shared a link. My case was $54, specifically designed for the Vision Pro.
Okay.
And I love it. And it comes with a little extra thing that covers the lenses on the inside of the thing as well. So the USB metal doesn't scratch your lens.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm using, that little cardboard insert that came with the original packaging for. Same reason.
Smart. All right, well, we'll put a link to that in the show notes because that's what we do. What's the brand? Syntec.
Syntec hard carrying case for Apple Vision Pro, M5, M2, and accessories.
Yeah, of course.
I was considering the Belkin one that I think Apple sells on their
site. Yep.
Which I think is about $80. I can't remember. It wasn't super expensive.
Yeah.
And I would recommend, throw an AirTag in that case, in that little mesh pocket. Just
that's a good idea.
In case.
Your Vision Pro doesn't have a built-in like Find My thing?
It
should.
It might, but
well, you'd know if it shows up in items in your Find My
true.
app.
I've never looked for it in there, but yeah.
All right.
Cool. Something I wouldn't want to lose.
It's time. It's time. This is good though. It's like I'm glad that we revisited this. That's great. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for all your questions and tips and the cool stuff found we didn't yet get to, but we will. We're going to have to do a show next week, guys. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Make sure to sign up at macgeekgab.com/giveaway to win one of the 3 copies of SoundSource that we are doing with Rogue Amoeba this month. Thanks to CashFly for providing all the bandwidth to get the show from us to you. Don't forget about Adam's other podcast, the Debut Film Podcast. Pete's other show, So There I Was. My other shows, Business Brain and Geek Gab. And thanks to everybody who sent in reviews. We have reviews to read. We just didn't get to that, but we'll do that next time. It's all there. Stuff, like we said, stuff stays in the agenda until it either becomes irrelevant or it winds up being completely relevant. So there you go.
Hey, could I take a moment of personal privilege? The oldest Medal of Honor winner in history, 100 years old. We have him on our show this week, so there I was.
Amazing. Oh, go check it out. Yeah, so there I was.us. Yeah, cool. Thanks, folks. Don't get caught, and we'll see you next week. That's amazing, Pete. That's really cool. Wow. Amazing stuff. I love it. Podcasting's fun. All right. Later.